It has been an extremely crazy and strange week for me. With this legend graduating after what 4+ years of streaming, with a lot of what I went through consisting of, you know how like you always follow a particular regimen, and then all of a sudden there's a lot of changes. Um, I gotta tell you, there's just so much that I've dealt with, mostly good. That's just been strange, man. The build up to WrestleMania has been strange. Um, the fact that I am now, like the CEO role play sense of like a wrestling company. Um, eating out twice, which I usually wouldn't do, and just so much strangeness that's been going on in this app, and the fun times I've been having, and the busy day Monday, the strange news stories, how the people are fighting back against their government, just like first world countries have been doing for years. It's just whatever you can imagine that you thought was weird, like a new species of animal being discovered. It's just whatever you can imagine, it happened. But what if I told you that this week gets even weirder? Did you know that there is going to be a Gwar Gura video game? I'm not joking. There's going to be a fan Gwar Gura video game released on Steam. And it's going to be an action platformer. 3D, of course. This week just gets weirder and weirder, man. And I don't even know what to expect when it comes to, the weekend. And also, my broski's getting married, so that's cool. Oh, man. But yeah, howdy, hey everyone. My name is Wilkins, and yes, I am in a Gwar Gura avatar. I know I talked about this when I was like, and I said a lot of things, and I was playing that Phantom Breaker ultimate game. Buy it's amazing. So, but as you can tell, you can hear in my throat, it's just a change of the weather. Not feeling the best. It's nothing too serious. It's not like okay, no. It's just just feel a little bit under the weather. That's pretty much it. Nothing serious. I pretty much opened this group instance because I figured Midnight Madness. I haven't really had the chance to open up an instance because been dealing with some things. But the good news is PTSD did not win. So there you go. That's the good news. And then of course the Fatal Fury fan base has just been going bananas. And the Nintendo fans, of course, are once again acting like they have amnesia, saying, "Oh, we were mad about the price." And Tara's like, "Ooh, this game looks nice. I'm gonna still buy it anyway." So it's just weird, just weird, just like this app, man. Also, for those who are part of my group, I appreciate the fact that for those of you that actually read through everything and respect what I have to say. Appreciate it. For those who didn't, well, guess I'll just have to learn. Also, Golden Dragoon, I hope you had a fantastic birthday. Sorry I couldn't make it, man. I just wasn't feeling all that great. So, and I dealt with something that just, I don't know, it did something to me. Like it kind of changed my whole thought process. Like to the point where I messaged someone, I'm like, should I say this? So, like I said, my PTSD still didn't win. Still didn't win. So anyway, I wanted to talk about Hall Live and VShojo, but I think I'll save that for another time. I think I've, in a way, shown and proven the point along Nutstaku that how Live VShojo has been a detriment but a great blessing to the VTuber community. But for the small VTubers, they just kind of out of luck. Because when you think VTuber, they think of her and many others. They don't think of Furry and Brony. Like the Furry and Brony streamers that are really trying and trying, you know, good. But they have pretty much stated that nah, we're still gonna dominate regardless, and along with the IRL streamers. So as I tell people all the time, do this for fun. Do not try to do this for a profit. I also had someone message me. They was like, so you want to have some more fun like we did last night? And I just simply told them, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of out of it right now. Maybe next time. So she's not happy about that, but gotta stand your ground, you know. Thank goodness I'm not dating, because that would just be like... But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let my friend in. Just had to get my intro stuff out the way. So I hope y'all doing well. Take care of yourselves. And if you have any questions for me, my Discord is literally WPYKD7523. Look, I get messages from scammers, so it's like, it doesn't even matter at this point. So it is 12:13. I'm gonna close this instance in like an hour. Like if it doesn't get, I don't see a lot of people showing up. And then after that, I'm just gonna go play some other games. And then I think I said I was gonna do something else. I can't remember. I think it was just games. Yeah, it's just games. And for those who are in the Pauls and Who's group, again, thanks again for 50 members. The 51st member that came and then just left. Hey, it doesn't matter. Still love you. Still appreciate you. So yeah, I'm just hanging in there, keeping my sanity, eating my Waffle House, you know, and just fighting off my PTSD. The question I've been asked is, will I attend Ferality? I don't really have an interest in Ferality. It has nothing to do with money. It's just this app has, as much as I love it, it's just been leaving a neutral taste in my mouth. And I've been hearing that from a lot of my friends too, where they're on this app and they say stuff like, I won't even be on this app unless my friends are on here. And honestly, it's just like, I understand. Like, I wanted to do something where I just go back to my roots. That was pretty much the plan for the 10K hour celebration. I was going to do something where I was going to go back to my roots and go back to old worlds I used to visit and just kind of like talk about it. But, you know, this is a new breed, new generation. Attention spans are completely different. I guess that's why I can't deal with being in Twitch streams anymore, because it just kind of feels samey to me, you know? Or maybe it's just me. Or my PTSD, I don't know. But there was a time that I recall where I really enjoyed, you know, being around streamers, but now it's just, I don't know. I also finally made it public that the stuff that I've been going through, you know, about the whole people wanting to kick and ban and block me from Discord. So I just made that public so people will know. I didn't state no names because I ain't silly, but I just say like, hey, this is what's going on. And if you know, or if you know of anyone that has like, that needs to talk to me, like, here's my socials. Like, no excuse. Like, here it is. I'm literally saying, here I am. But if they don't want to talk, then I don't want to hear about it. So I'm pretty much, you know, I always keep the floor open for everyone that wants to talk to me. And just like keeping the peace. And from what I can tell from me being the CEO of this roleplay group, I just gotta kind of cool it, you know, just listen more and just let everyone else do whatever. You know, just the way it is. Let them do their thing. And honestly, it makes it easier for me because I'm going to be, you know, in school soon. Let them do their thing, and I'll just take whatever ideas that I couldn't do and implement it in my own little future anime and stuff. There we go. Also, I've been doing some weird issues where I was accept someone's request, maybe because you don't accept it right away. I guess people can't get through. This app is just it's barely just putting itself together. So my VR Chat Plus finally expired. I want to thank everyone who gifted me VR Chat Plus. Appreciate it. One of my favorite avatars got privated for no reason, so that was painful. It was this cool avatar of like this guy, and he was wearing a hoodie, and he had like the black face and whatnot. It was really awesome, but they said nah, that shouldn't happen. That was my own private avatar. So I mean, hey, it's their avatar. They built from scratch. It's theirs. Theirs. It's just like eh. I found a bunch of Gwar Gura avatars, or Gwar Gura avatars, or Gwar Gura is what I like to call her. Found a bunch of avatars, and surprising for how popular she is, because from doing all my research, she's actually one of the most popular VTubers in the world, literally next to Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse was like one of the top VTubers, but now she's kind of like getting beat by two other upcoming VTubers, so she's just been working hard, trying to get back on top. And Guy Sennett, he doesn't care. He already proven his point. So that's what I mean about streaming, man. It's like you hear about these people and you root for them, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I got my money, so if I quit now, it's like, I mean, I don't blame them. Like, hey, do what you gotta do, get your money, help your family. But it's like, man, don't leave us hanging like that. So many people just quitting, man. So, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm actually thinking about just slowly getting away from TikTok. It has nothing to do with my views. It has nothing to do with that. It's just me personally. I'm just like, I don't really see a point. At this point, I'm just doing it just for my followers, but I don't really see any enjoyment out of it. I'm just kind of like pushing content out there, like, hey, here you go. Here's a vid. Oh, it got 200 views. Okay, it took me like 5 hours to work on that, but okay. And this person got like 100,000. Sweet. Again, don't care. It's just like, dang. It just makes you think. Makes you really think. You ever got that feeling sometimes like maybe you're just in the wrong place and you should be somewhere else? And that's why things just aren't going the way that you want it. Nah. I always tell people that things don't work out. It's usually because just wasn't meant to be. Because trust me, I'm a hard worker. I work hard. Like family members will tell you, I work hard. I'll do what I need to do. I'll do 300 push-ups if it was something that I need to do every day. The doctor said you got to do 300 push-ups, man. And I said I'll do it. I'll freaking do it. I'm not a quitter. It's just sometimes you just wonder, is this over? Guess how many of these Hololive V Shoujo streamers actually retired? One of them actually didn't even last a year. And it's usually due to disagreements within the company or, of course, some controversy or whatnot. But you want to guess? Just guess. Anyone in the chat want to guess? Anyone? Anyone want to guess? Anyone? Anyone? Going once. Going twice. The answer is 800. 800 in total. And from my recollection, there's a bunch of defunct VTuber agencies as well. Mind blowing. And there was a bunch of Hololive based video games, and well, it's like people played them and then they just stopped. I'm actually thinking about streaming 2 of the games that I downloaded. It was a fighting game, which surprisingly enough, this popular VTuber who's now, graduated, is not in the game. Not in the game at all. And that is just, I don't know. Like, she's technically in the game. Like, she has, like, on, like, a little cosplay. Like, there's a cosplay outfit, like, in dedication to her. I don't know if it was due to a lack of time or they just couldn't get in contact with her. But you would think that you would have the top 5 VTubers, in the game. Like, they couldn't pay her enough or something. I don't know. It's just thought that's pretty strange, pretty weird. I don't know. It's like it's kind of odd because now it's like I feel bad for saying the word weird because now it's like an offensive term to people. Like when you call someone weird, it's just like see back then we called somebody weird in the '90s. It was like ha ha ha, you're weird, man. You're so weird. But now it's like it's an insult. And sometimes you can feel that when someone calls you weird. It's like, dang, I guess I'm weird then. I mean, I don't care. It's just it's the tone of when someone's how they say it. Like you're weird or yeah, you're weird. It's like it's always the tone. You gotta pay attention to the tone of how someone says it. It is now 12:23. If I don't see anybody within an hour, this instance will be closed. It will be CLOSED, closed. I'm closing it down. And I'm going to go and chill out some other game world. I already told everyone that, hey, the Paul's Who's events will pretty much still be going. You just have to find me. Just won't be in the group. But like I said before, I left a bunch of groups. I even made it clear that I'm leaving a bunch of groups, and possibly by the end of this year, I'm gonna leave more Discord groups. Heck, I already left a few streamer groups. I was hesitant to leave a pony group too, because I'm just like I just don't have the time anymore. To constantly keep checking messages and then dealing with a bunch of attitude from people, just attitude. That's all. That seems to be like the thing that us older folks deal with. We just deal with attitude, just attitude. Mad the sun, mad the grass, mad because they got to work, mad because, and I feel like I talked about this before, but it's just like it's an ongoing topic. Just mad. Always mad about something. Just mad, just angry, just like. Nowadays, you say good morning to somebody, they get mad at you. Just hey, hi, how are you? And just like, or when you try to like conversate with them, they can't even like reply back with a gift. They just kind of like ghost you, and then you're like waiting for like 2 months. And you think to yourself, well, did I do something wrong? So I don't know. I just. This is why language arts teachers got on us so hard about communicating. I never really understood it, honestly, to be clear, when I was young. Like, man, why is this teacher always getting on us about periods and apostrophes and exclamation points and commas and making sure that we communicate and always saying good morning. Like, I remember when our teacher would literally get us hell for not even saying good morning. Like, we walked past, they were like, excuse me, and they were like, oh right, good morning. I missed that. I'm not gonna lie, I honestly missed that because that needs to be a thing now where people need to be reminded that you should greet people. Now it's just you don't gotta do that no more. Heck, I even started doing that with some people. You just post a GIF and there you go. There's a greeting. You don't have to say good morning anymore. You could literally just post a GIF or you could post a sticker, and that's apparently the proper way to greet someone. You get on this damn app, and it's just strange. I remember I used to say hi, or I used to just be like hi, and people went way back. Now you do that, people just. They act like NPCs. You don't even know who you trying to talk to. Have folks that add you and don't even come by to say hi. You say no one time to an invite, you don't hear from them again because I don't know. Just it's just nonsense, man. But 800 retired VTubers, man, and I don't even know 90% of them. But apparently, my friends do. They know all these VTubers. They know their names, but I don't. I don't think I met not even one of them. Not even on this app. Not even just by mistake, or walk past them. And if I did walk past them, I would have never known that there was a part of V Shoujo Hall Live. Here in America, we don't know half of these streamers. I just remember in 2023, I just been hearing about, oh, this issue with VTubers and oh, this with Hall Live and all this with V Shoujo, and I was like, they'll pass on, they'll work some now. All they gotta do is just up the just up the payment or whatever, however much they get paid, and they'll be quiet. Nope, no. Apparently that's not the case. I mean, what was that? Also, like one of the issues back then with VTubers, like, oh, they're not getting paid enough, or oh, this, or oh, with the hackers, or oh, this with minors, and it's just like, okay, remedy that, and then people will find someone else to talk about. Very strange. Speaking of strange, let me get my phone. I actually found some some positive quotes. Yeah, let's break up the neutrality with the positivity, and I just want to read it all to you. So by Mong Yang on Yahoo, they posted something, and it honestly kind of like sent a chill down my spine. And it was about the curses if you were born in this month. And unfortunately, all these are true. So here's the one for my birth month, September. And I almost cried when I read this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not afraid to admit about my feelings. I know a lot of people on here that when they stream, they're like, oh, I gotta just still be in character. It's like, okay, you can do that. I could do it too, but I like to be real. Because that's the problem with this world. People don't even know what's real anymore thanks to AI. Sometimes when you watch wrestling, you don't even know if you're dealing with a real person. You got characters, but you don't even know if that's an actual real person. So they gotta, quote unquote, put in words like shoot and everything. Like back in the day, the 80s and 90s, even though it's a character, you knew the humanity of these characters. Like if they were a heel, like IRL, but they had a good heart. Or they were just a heel, they were just a jerk. Like you could just tell. Like Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he was a jerk, but he also had a good heart, but he had some intentions. He had his own demons to fight. That was him. He was being himself. So, but anyway, and I quote, you carry all your secrets on your back, never letting anyone know who the real you is. You think that if they know, they'll judge and hate you. Well, I mean, that's pretty much what happened. I pretty much talked about this. Ban, block, kick, block, ban, block, kick, block, block, kick. Honestly, I could make a beatbox beat about that. Why do you think like this? Let yourself be known. I do. I let myself be known, and I just say, people have a choice, as long as whatever they block and ban me for. I would rather be blocked and banned for something stupid, something ignorant, something ridiculous, than to be blocked and banned for something serious. Like if it's just, I just don't like the guy. I'd rather deal with that. Then someone tell me, oh, there was an allegation. Like, you gotta choose your poison. Like, get blocked and banned by someone because they just don't like you, or get blocked and banned by someone because it's actually something serious that can get you in trouble with the law. So it's like, I think I'd rather be blocked and banned for something stupid. Or I don't know, maybe because I triggered them. I think that was it. I think I just triggered them. They probably someone saw that I posted on TikTok and they just got triggered. I mean, goodness gracious, I got PTSD, but even I don't get triggered like that. Oh my goodness, that's offended. I'm gonna hit the block, but I'm sorry, it's just too funny. you can't help but just kind of joke about it because it's really ridiculous, knowing that these people who do this stuff won't last, and then it'll be like years later, and you'll see that they don't even stream anymore. So it's like, oh, oh, that jerk who treated me, a certain way doesn't even do this anymore. They quit. Okay, um, well, awkward. Awkward. I've had that happen to me where people who went through all of that and then they turned out to quit. So it's just like, huh? Uh, okay. And then there's one by Awakening, my friend Yasha, who, and they stated, poor mindset, rich mindset. I actually want to debate this a little bit. So, under rich mindset, it lives in the present, learns from mistakes, helps others succeed, doesn't complain, constantly learns, quits bad habits, and takes action. This is true. Poor mindset misses the old days. Okay, you can miss the old days, but you shouldn't reminisce on the past all the time. So you can miss the old days and still have a healthy mindset. Okay, I want to make that perfectly clear. It's okay to be like, man, I remember the good old days. That's okay. Because trust me, I think that the entertainment industry needs a wake up call or a huge crash. Not just the game industry, not just the anime. I feel like the whole industry just needs to crash. And just wait a year. Just wait a whole year. Let it deal with a drought. And then watch all these plethora of beautiful ideas from indie and even big corporations come like, wow, look at that. They got a year to just relax. They got a year to just breathe. They got a year to be human. 1 year, we and then we started missing them. And then bam, look at all these great movies, these great games, these great comics, because they got a chance to just relax, to just embrace nature, do something besides just work on a project, just chill. But that's only in a perfect world. And this world ain't perfect. Fear of missing out. I don't have a fear of missing out, honestly, unless it's rare. It's very rare. Like, for instance, when it comes to wrestling, I'm not gonna lie, I do have a fear of like missing out, like certain matches, like, oh, I can't miss this match, I can't miss it. But that's like the normal type. But it just depends on what is it that you want to miss out on. Like for me, I was in a lot of party groups and certain groups, and I missed out on a lot. I missed out on birthdays. I missed out on certain events. I missed out on big world reveals, all because I worked, all because I had to work, all because I had to. I ended up being sick, or I had to tend to someone else. I missed out on a lot, man, and I just got tired of it. So I just say, you know what? I don't even care no more. Thinks rich or evil. Rich are necessary evil, but they're not entire evil. So I want to make this perfectly clear for a lot of people that think that all rich people are evil. No, they're not. It's fun to make fun of them, I'm not going to lie, but know who you're making fun of. Be careful how you do it. Again, see how comedians do it professionally. And understand that not everyone that's rich is a bad person. All right? You just got to know who is actually part of that spectrum of being evil and then go there. But not every one of the rich is evil. They are a necessary evil that pretty much keeps the world in balance. Can you imagine if we didn't have V Shoujo Hall Live? What will happen? Oh, they're going to just come to people like me. Then I'm bombarded with 100+ viewers, and then I got to figure out how to entertain all 100+ viewers. So it's a good thing that it's separate, where it's like, well, here's people in the bottom, here's people at the top. So be grateful if you're small sometimes. Get a break. The best part about, you being small is this is your chance to pretty much build yourself up, You'll be able to do things that you can, Like I remember Mr. Beast, he was talking about in this 1 hour plus long interview after he apologized, and he stated, I miss being poor. And of course, that angered a lot of people when he said that. But what he was trying to say is, I miss just not having all this responsibility, because I'm always busy, I'm always traveling. Versus people like me were like, man, I would love that. I would love to be able to travel. I would love to be able to go to Japan and whatnot. Now I know a lot of people that are making videos saying, "Oh, you don't want to live here." Like, understandable. I definitely would not want to live in a third world country, but I would love to experience and visit. And trust me, if the only time I would live in a third world country is if like I get married over there, you know. But again, it's each his own. So it's okay to think the rich are evil, but only to a small percentage. Never to like, oh, they're the problems. And I get why people think that, but you have to understand that the rich are going to do what they're going to do. And believe it or not, we can complain about the rich and stuff, but we use their products. We use their phones. We use their tables. We use their keyboards. We use the chairs that we sit in. So they're not all bad. Okay. We use their products. We eat. It's just we just have to do our research, educate ourselves, and just have a thing called balance, and understand that they exist for a reason. These big timers exist for a reason. Because if they didn't, then we take their place, and we could be just as bad as certain subsets in the group of those individuals. Does that make sense? Like people say, "Oh, well, no, I won't." Yeah. Again, people need to start, reading some dark horse graphic novels or reading some psychology books, and you will understand that this is just all human nature. We see something that we think is just, way over its head and whatnot, and we want to take it down, and all of a sudden something's replaced, and they pretty much think they understand the people, and they don't, and then it's just a same vicious cycle. One day, the humans will figure it out, but it's going to take them a minute. Complains constantly. You can complain to a small percentage, but don't do it all the time. I speak the truth. I don't like complaining. I'd rather give you facts and statistics than to just talk about how things are not fair. You can say things are silly, they're dumb, but have a plan and say, you know what, it's silly right now, but in the future, it will get better. So, never likes to learn. Oh, I can agree on that one. That's the one I can agree with. That is definitely a poor mindset, but I deal with people like that all the time, and I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to say. Afraid of investing. This one is kind of tricky because I don't blame people for saying that they're afraid. Because, like, again, if you're investing in a company and all of a sudden, like, let's just say Bitcoin, you invest in Bitcoin and all of a sudden, oh, snap, they're in the negatives and now you just lost a bunch of money and now you're in debt. So I wouldn't say be afraid, just be cautious and educate on what you're investing in. And fears change. Not all change is good. If there's one thing that I've learned is that not all change is good. Sometimes things need to somewhat be the same. They have to follow tradition somewhat because not a lot of people can handle radical change. For example, if all chairs were replaced with something else, we will all lose our minds. We're like, no, I like sitting in my chair after a long day of work and working out and like jogging like 5 or 10 miles. No, I like my chair. I don't want that change. It was like this back in the 90s, and I want it to stay the same. People take time to change, okay? Like, if people are in this mindset of everything sunshines, rainbows, and it's Milo Pony, unironically speaking, and, everything is just peaceful, that's just their own positive toxicity, and they have to grow out of that. And when I deal with people like that, the only thing I can say to myself under my breath is, I used to be the same way. I used to be the same way. I used to be like, oh, everything is just sunshine, rainbows. And I look at those people and I'm like, I always just kind of chuckle, say, stay innocent. It's me just saying, keep the little innocence that you have. And when I find those people, I do everything in my power to protect them. Like, if they're around some of my friends that are like 18 plus, you know what I mean? Like, in that way, I tell them, get out. They're like, what do you? Nope, we're going to another instance. Nope. Because I get it. Because once they get exposed to that, one or two things can happen. They can become corrupted, or they just lose their mind. They go psycho mode, or they get triggered to the point where they just start going to a deep depression. I I've seen it so many times like clockwork. It's just when you gonna write those books, Wilkins? Soon, soon. I'm gonna write those books soon. Don't worry, I'm gonna write those books. So, what did y'all think about that? I thought that was pretty powerful. But anywho, let me go ahead and read some that my friend Circus Spidey sent to me when I was doing my PTSD, and it's very powerful. So, here's what he had to say. I feel like the I don't care what people think and feel about you thing that has been so normalized is a bad thing. Because not caring about what others have to say and feel, not listening to their concerns around you, is how folks get hate. Whether it's bad or good, you should always care because the moment someone starts caring about those things is when they become, not really this best kind of person. Because these ninjas are they less likely, change at all. And I'm a good example of this since I didn't have thick skin, it didn't go out one ear and out the other. And I grew, but when people are on the haters gonna hate type motion, they become something ugly and become the majority, which is not a good thing. They take the long, dirty path that has been walked on far too often and speed run getting haters. And they see it as a good thing, and when they become famous or too blind to see that they're truly the problem, or they blame it on the fame, and they don't realize that they're really infamous. More people despise them rather than love them. And the moment these kind of people die off. Yeah, that's honestly one of the reasons why 800 plus VTubers probably retired. Like Gwar Gura, like they're not bad people, but sometimes you can let that fame and whatnot get to your head. It's one of the reasons why I stopped, checking out certain VTubers these days in the furry community because when I see that type of behavior from people, I don't warn people anymore. I just walk away. I'm like, no, I'm out of here. Bye. I am out. I am out. Deuces. Gone. Like, I don't have to say anything to people anymore. I let my actions speak louder than words. That's just what I do. I'll just walk away. The faster they'll be forgotten when they're gone. Now, hate really rarely comes from nowhere. Even the reverse flash has a reason for hate and Barry. So it's always better to talk to the so-called haters for a better understanding. So it's always better to talk to so-called haters for a better understanding of their view rather than be like, I don't fuck. Allergy season, love it. Being on some uncool, I don't care, I don't give a flock, womp womp. If you don't like me, blow me mentality that is so widespread and normalized, it's gross. Now keep these words close to your ear for those who follow the road of ugly. The more you wear hated while you roam this earth will be the ones who will dance in joy around the day you roam it no longer. And the ones who dance will always be greater than those who will mourn, and you will be forgotten faster. And then you shall be hit with true death, which is not only death of the body, but both the death in the hearts and the minds of people. They knew you while you was here, so always care. Be kind even when the world is not kind to you back. You will leave this world with way more smiles than frowns. I've been saying this for years. So I'm not like when people wonder like why I talk about certain topics and think, oh my goodness, you just keep talking about this, like, oh my goodness, stop talking about it. It's because I do my research and I listen to people, and that's where I get my topics from. It's not just from, oh, I got it from a dream or from the heavens. Like, no, I write this stuff down, and I just think about it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this. Like I put this on a stack of all the notes that I've taken throughout my life. Sometimes I wake up and I just get a vision of what I should talk about. And sometimes I'll say back, you do realize I'm not a big streamer, right? So I'm literally just wasting my time. I was like, no, do it. Do it. And you're not going to believe it. I'm just mind my own business. in VR chat, just vibing after a long day, and someone came to me and said, "I was listening in on your YouTube stream," and I was like, "What?" I'm telling you, like you never know, man, who like just stops by, and then they spread the word, and then it's just literally told me I stopped by just to hear what you had to say in your YouTube stream. And it's insane. You just don't ouch. You just don't know. That's been an issue that's been going on lately with VR chat. So, but I have an excuse because I'm a magical pony and I can change to whatever I want. But I just want to change to this because I want to dedicate this event and stream to Gwar Gura, or who I like to call Gaga. And also shout out to XOXO. What's their name? I'm a fan of you. Everybody saw the Hey, Christian, how you doing? I have not seen the Wicked movie. The Wicked movie I heard was really good. I love the play, and I honestly need to take the time to just sit down, get some popcorn, and just watch it. So I thank you for the recommendation, and I appreciate that. Hey, and I'm a fan of you too. So whatever you decide to become a musician or whatnot, let me know. I believe my Gmail will still be the same. Just say, hey man, it's been a while. Check out this beat that I made, or if you I don't know made some new discovery on science. Listen, the there's always room for someone for bright minds in the world, and you don't have to like know everything. You just gotta figure out some way to solve this particular issue in the world, and that's just enough. So if you figure out a way to you know make I'm trying to think, the negative thinking process go by faster, people are gonna be like, wow, like this person's awesome, like they was able to figure this out. People are still trying to like figure out ways to like fight depression, fight PTSD, fight, anger, bipolar. It's ongoing. Like scientists are still trying to figure out ways to figure out the human body, and figure out the configuration of the brain. It's just it's every day. I've been trying to get those that I know to get in on this, like saying, hey, like every day, because I remember my science teacher told me this. Look up one science article a day. Just look it up, read on it, watch a video, enlighten yourself, give yourself hope. You know, they told me, like, if you ever want some type of glimmer of hope, man, just look up a science article, like, just or talk to someone that's in that field. It's enlightening. It's beautiful, to learn that there's other galaxies out there. Versus, no offense, when I sit in a stream for 2 hours and I hear about memes and brain rot and drama and about this video game. It's cool, it's funny, but it's like, I think, like, man, those 2 hours I could have already read 30 plus psychology articles. I mean, am I wrong for thinking this way? I mean, if I'm wrong, I apologize. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking differently, you know. But it's just hard for me to believe that these streamers who follow the algorithm, got their thousands of views, probably even more than that, made their money, pride themselves in their memes and their art and how they produce their streams and how they talk to their audience, and they got their audience singing along, retired. 800 retired. It just blows my mind, including this one, retired. Like, what? I'm not gonna lie, this individual is the last person I would expect to retire. And it's official. She graduated and she's done. I'm hoping that maybe this will be the start of her maybe trying, to run her own little VTubing company, maybe recruit small VTubers, get them where they need to go, maybe provide them with training. Maybe she can use this time to teach people, like, hey, this is, how I got where I need to be. Doubt it, but that would be cool. I mean, it's kind of common sense. I mean, all you gotta do is just follow the algorithm, be yourself, and have a consistent schedule, and make sure your community is based off of what you are, and make sure that you don't focus on too many topics. So if you only focus on this, focus on this. That's it. And stay that same way until you develop a fan base, and after you develop that fan base, and then you go from there. This is why I never wanted to even bother with VTubing at first, because I knew that was the process I had to go through, and that would have bored me to tears. That would have bored me. That would have honestly made me incredibly unhappy. That I would have just had to be a character, stay this character, and I could never change. Like, oh, I like My Little Pony. Oh, too bad you didn't start off My Little Pony, so you have to stick this way. And that's the thing. Like, when I was with my Little Pony friends, I always felt like I had to be that character. Like, always. Like, I couldn't. If I'm not, just some colored pony with a different, cutie mark, and if I'm not reciting the My Little Pony songs like it's a freaking church, then I was gonna be exiled. And lo and behold, that's what happened. I got exiled. So it's whatever. Oh my goodness, you're a pony that wears a hoodie. We don't wear hoodies. Like we don't wear clothes like this. Like this is weird. Like you're weird. And it's just like yeah, I expect this type of behavior from that fandom, but I love it anyway. So no matter what, I still wanted to be different. I still wanted to be me. I still wanted to be me. Everyone looked at me like, "Oh, why in the world would you have an outfit like that? Like, this is weird. Like this is unnatural. This is uncanny. So I was like, man, I thought the VTuber community was supposed to be open. It was supposed to be different. It was supposed to expand our horizons. But apparently, I was wrong about that. No, if you're part of a community, you have to pretty much do what they say. You have to choose a side. You have to. It's like a character creator screen. You have to do your side. Like, oh, are you this way, this way? No, you can't be both. If you're both, then these are the consequences. You have to be this side. You have to only hang with these certain people. If you hang with anyone else, you will be exiled. You will be banned, and you will be judged, and you will be prosecuted. And it's just like, jeez, man. If I would have known it was like that, I would have been like, I'm out. But nope, I gave it a chance. I tried to be different. I tried to unify people. And 4 years later, here I am. This is what I get. I tried. Heck, if Nelson Mandela couldn't stop racism, and he tried. If Michael Jackson couldn't bring about world peace and he tried, what in the world was I thinking that I could bring certain VTubers together? And if Gwar Gura couldn't get stop the Hall Live drama, then it just comes to show you that the change comes from within. You can be the biggest star in the world and people are still going to do what they want. Heck, John Cena said it best himself. You use my name, my slogan as an excuse. And you shouldn't do that. I live by my catchphrase. John Cena lives by his catchphrase, hustle, loyalty, respect. CM Punk lives by his catchphrase. It doesn't make sense to say a catchphrase and not do the work. You can't just buy some merch and be like, yeet. Jey Uso's yeet just means yeeting bad vibes. He yeets the bad vibes and keeps it going. That's what his catchphrase means. He yeets bad vibes. It's just simple. Yeet, if it's bad, if it's negative energy, yeet. That's why people like saying it. Kevin Owens, fight. Owens, fight. He fights. He fights whatever he deals with IRL. He fights whatever he deals with in the ring. His demons, Randy Orton voiced his head. I wouldn't be surprised if I learned that Randy Orton dealt with schizophrenia. It wouldn't shock me, and I would still love him. These wrestlers, man, people they deal with their own little demons and stuff, and people don't want to accept that. I deal with my own little demons, We all got something we got to deal with. So yeah, one of these days I'll just sit down, just pretty much give my thoughts on how Live v Shoujo and everything. It's pretty much going to be almost kind of equivalent to what I talked about with the cartoon VTubers, which I know a lot of them, if they ever come across me, are going to have if they ever come across, they're going to have a lot to say to my face, and I will have a lot to say to their face respectfully. So I'm just not worried about it anymore. I don't mind, making posts talking about, yeah, this is what I dealt with. I pretty much waited 4 years to say all of that. It's not like I was like everybody else, like, oh, like, this is what this person. No, I respectfully just said, this is what I dealt with. This is it. And that's that. Tell people all the time, I ain't got nothing to hide. I got nothing to hide. This is my life. This is what I choose to do. And I know that once my time comes where I do make it, I'm going to be dealing with some unfortunate realities of myself. Like, man, could I really deal with this? And then I learned that, yeah, and in some cases, no, and I need help. All right. I've been here for a whole hour and nobody showed up. Not a single soul. So I tried. I opened up an instance, free for anyone to join. They wanted to sit by and talk to me about this topic, they could have, but they chose not to. So guess what? I did my part. So because I did my part, I can move on. I'm sitting here just waiting to see if anybody wanted to play this with me. Sometimes I wonder what my life would have been like if I was young and I learned about game design and whatnot early, coded early, and I made big fancy worlds like this and got well known. I mean, I know my time's coming to be able to do all this stuff somewhere else, but it's just, I wonder. I always wonder why certain people get chosen. And those certain people turn out to be awful people. Or some of the most arrogant people you've ever met. Or some of the most proud, prideful individuals. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like I'm in a loop. I wonder what the world would be like if there were more people like me. I don't, we would have to work really hard. You ever sometimes wonder, you just wish that you just didn't open your mouth. You just let things just happen. You see the world on fire. You just like, you know what? People don't listen to me. I'm just going to be quiet, I remember I did that one time for one of my streams where I just didn't say nothing. I went a whole hour just playing games. I said nothing. Not a doggone thing. And I had a bunch of people try to get me to talk. Are you okay? Is everything fine? And I said, yeah, I just don't want to talk. And I noticed that when I do stuff like that, I'm able to calm myself down. And I noticed that my gut shrinks. Did you know that if you have like a little round gut and you're working on stuff and you're doing everything you're supposed to, and the doctor says you're okay, that could just be stress. And in the moment you start stressing as you're working out and stuff, the gut just automatically just shrinks. I noticed that. Like when I started meditating more and whatnot, I noticed when I would touch my gut, I was like, wow, it's smaller now. Yep. There's just stress. Sometimes I wake up and I ask myself, why do I mostly have to be right? Sometimes I wish I was wrong when it comes to people. Like I meet a person and I can just read them. I'm like, oh boy, I already know what I'm dealing with. But then there's that side that's like, oh no 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 no, oh no 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 no. See, look, there's some good in that person. Don't worry, they're not gonna hurt you. They're not gonna do this. You know, it's okay. Look at that little glimmer of good in them. It's just, yeah, that's me. That's typical me. Funny thing, my brothers told me that when I started college and I moved to a dorm, they told me that the moment I move with a roommate, I'm gonna cry for days on the inside, or just cry for days because I'm not gonna be able to deal with people who are just don't care for themselves or don't like bathing or don't like, you know, like they told me I was gonna end up having a falling out with people. I mean, I was considered the odd one, because I couldn't stand loud noises. People would be so loud, and all I'm trying to do is just concentrate. So people thought I was in the autism spectrum. I just wanted to hear clearly so I can learn, but they put they almost put me in that category. It pains me sometimes when my friend messaged me and text me and they tell me all what they went through, and I wish I had the answer for them, but I don't. So I'm just sitting here listening. I'm visualizing everything that they're going through, and I'm just sitting here like, well, you know, if my past and my 20s heard me talk like this, and my other past from when I was 10 years old heard me talk like this, my 10-year-old self would probably cry. My 20-year-old self would probably be like, there has to be a way, there has to be this, you're just not trying hard enough. My 10-year-old self would cry because he would want to try to fix everything, saying, "Oh well, we got to make things right. Let's make a big old public apology. Let's write a big old letter. Let's try to save the world." 20-year-old me be like, "Waste of time. We're gonna figure something out. We just gotta, deal with those that do care about us." And then my future self would just literally be like, "Let it go. You tried. Just do what you can. That's it." I always wanted to do like a video of just like my young self just listening to me, and my other self from 10 years ago just listening to me, and we all just conversate. But that, of course, will require me to have to like pay someone, make a model, like a model of me as a fool and a model of me as my 20-year-old. So it would have been interesting. And of course, I would need like another version of my pony model where it's like a little bit older. So it has been 1 hour and 5 minutes. Nobody showed up. One person tried to show up, but I was 7 minutes behind just accepting it. And yet somehow, some way, I don't feel alone. But 10-year-old me will used to say stuff like, "I don't want to be alone." 20-year-old me is like, "I don't care." 30-year-old me is like, "It is what it is." I think my biggest problem is that I'm just too trusting of people, and I just got to stop because it's not just the trusting of, you know, other things. Because, like, no, no, no. Like, I'm always like neutral on that. It's like the trusting of, oh, they'll never try to hurt me emotionally. And if I ever do it to them, they'll let me know. So it's both ways where it happens, and then they just keep me in the dark thinking I was supposed to know. So I don't know. Didn't mean to be all real, like too real for you folks, but I mean, someone has to be real. Someone has to. I mean, who else is going to be real? You know. All right, time to close this instance. I'm gonna go ahead and find some world to chill in because I need to finish eating. Keep in mind, you may hear some folks say some pretty heinous things, but it's whatever. It is whatever. Anyway, did y'all have any questions? Also, by the way, my favorite character in Wicked is the witch, obviously. Don't like her mannerisms, but you know, gotta respect the character. Looks like there's a lot of private conversations. I'm just gonna go somewhere else. If you see like folks, you know, spread out like this, they're having like actual personal conversations. So I'm gonna probably go over there because I gotta finish eating. I can't let my food sit out for too long. Can I? I can't get in here. I forgot. Can I get in here or can I? Oh no, that's just okay, no. Yeah, I can't get in here. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, I can climb up here. Just gotta make sure not get stuck. Of course, I'm stuck. Help! Someone help! Crud. Ah, there's an invisible wall here. Come on. I guess they're done with the private conversation because now they're just being silly. Okay, there we go. Gotta jump like Naruto. There we go. No, 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 no. Okay, we're good. Just gonna inch out a bit. Where am I? Where am I? Why is there a dinosaur? And why doesn't that dinosaur have feathers? Yeah, dinosaurs have feathers. Crud, crud, crud. Wait, no, don't take the picture. Okay, under Anchor, they add all these options. There. I'm not even standing on anything. Cartoon logic here. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just stuck. That is one heck of a burp. Might want to lay out the soda there, mate. Yeah, I'm stuck. Ah! I fell off! No! Parkour. Fail. There. Where'd I go? Oh! There I am. Okay, I will be back. I gotta go eat. And then when I come back, we're gonna play some games. Welcome to VR chat. For those of you that are new, I'm getting invited somewhere. We'll see how this goes. This is where I'm at. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later. And thanks again, Gwar Gura.